Get ready for 1970 vintage G.I. Joe and 90s Action Man. Yay! Hello, welcome back to Retro 70s Kid. And first of all, thank you so much for everybody. My very first video has just reached 100 views. Yay, everybody! Yay! Thank you. So yes, we'll get that out of the way. Thank you, audience. And tonight I'm doing my childhood vintage G.I. Joe and accessories and things. I got him about 1971. He's losing a little bit of hair, but that's from love and play. And he's in his original outfit. It's not the original boots, it's actually Action Man boots because I have lost one of them. I know I've got it somewhere, but I only have one boot. So, and you know all about G.I. Joe, I'm sure, the way he was designed from a wooden artist's figure of the same size. And he was invented 1963-64 by Hasbro, and it was all originally a World War II themed, military theme. And then because of the Vietnam War, it changed to Land Adventurer, Sea Adventurer, Air Adventurer, etc. in about 1970-71, and this is the Land Adventurer. So he did come in army clothes, but he isn't a Land Adventurer. There are some outfits down here, which, actually, no, first of all, it's right in front of me. Isn't this beautiful? This is the G.I. Joe. The set was originally called Search for the Stolen Idol, and it came with a gold plastic Buddha kind of thing, which opened up and you had 3 red plastic rubies in it, and there was a great big coiled up cobra, and they've disappeared over the years, but I still have the main helicopter, which still works. Press the button on the side and the wings still rotate. Do you like that?
Whoa, it's beautiful, still working.
Yes, and the only thing is, the back bit did break off when I was a kid, and it was so fragile. So anyway, but it doesn't affect the flying of the machine. And it's also got a winch cable at the back here, which works as well. And it's in really good condition, considering its age, really. The windscreen's quite good. It's a little marking, but there's no real major scratches, and it exists, which they don't usually exist these days. So there's him. This is the helicopter uniform, which he was in for many years, which is why it's kept his shape. So I just changed him into his original uniform. This whole outfit, accessory set here, it's called Secret Mission to Spy Island, and it actually came with this cool comic book. So you could play along with all the stuff you get in the set. Which, I know there were several different ones of these, but it was really, really cool, and I've still got it. So that was that. There is a diving set, karate kung fu, the Polar Explorers outfit. It didn't come with the dog and sled, because dogs and sled, they were separate. I'm not sure what they are. That's the safari outfit, and just some random pieces down there. So he came out with some amazing things at the time. There was heaps of other figures as well. Uniforms, outfits, they covered the whole spectrum. The weapons, everything was down to the most minute little detail. They were amazing. And of course they had their metal press studs, no Velcro. So this is all I've got. I don't have a heap of accessories because it's something I sort of all got at the one time for a birthday or something and never really added to it. So I think I got him and some sets, and then I got this for Christmas, 1972. So that's Action Man. Sorry, that's G.I. Joe. In the UK, they released G.I. Joe in 1964. Just let me check my notes. 66, they introduced this as Action Man, and so in all the UK and Europe, they had Action Man. Everything in the USA, it was G.I. Joe. And the whole line actually came to an end about 1984 when Star Wars was up and running and kids were into sci-fi, not really this kind of thing. So at all the collector's fairs, you'll see no one under 50. So for this sort of thing. So I think now I will go on and show you 90s Action Man. Doink. Doink. 90s Action Man. What more can I say? What an incredible line. Came out roughly 95. Went on to the early 2000s, maybe 2004. But there were hundreds and hundreds of figures and play sets, and everything connected to it was Action Man. It was a huge line for quite a long time. And starting off, as you can see, I've got some great stuff. But Action Man, when they brought him, once there was a lull for a few years, and they brought him back, they changed his look. He's still got his trademark scar. This is a very, very early figure, which is why his head is discoloured and he's had a bit of play wear. But they first looked like the original old Action Man and G.I.Joe until the 90s, where they looked more like him. Is this the one? Yeah. Then they kind of looked like him, and instead of having a naked figure that you dressed, they came with moulded on clothes, moulded on weapons, moulded on accessories, mostly except for the shoes and the pants. And I'm not a fan of that at all. But I have this one, look at this one. He's got a moving mouth. Ah! Isn't that cool? I love that. But yeah. So he did have several different looks throughout his whole career, so to speak. This is another one that has like all moulded everything on. He was a kung fu guy. That flicks out, and that's supposed to spin around, but you know. I'm not really into these, but I started collecting them because my little 6-year-old buddy, Logan, discovered these when I had a couple of them and loves them. So every time I've gone to card booths and I found stuff, I bought it and I ended up with this, and he loves them. So, which I'm really happy about, because they don't have this sort of stuff today. Except for, these were a few years ago. These were the Ultra Corps, and they had a whole different line. And these are really well made figures, but they weren't cheap when they came out. But that was like a copy line. And as you can see, we've got this incredible headquarters, hidden base, I think it's called. I'm just going to have to stand up, Mamacita. It's beautiful. I've got it on a rotator. Wait. That's the front. These are a couple of villains. They also released some villains with the later Action Man, like a range of villains. I think he's a villain. He's got a cool ponytail. But they also... I'll say over there, I'll do it later. But yeah, and that's a villain. I don't know who they are, what they're called, because I never followed it. But it turns around to the inside. And you've got this incredible gun on top, of course, which fires things. And I've got a heap of accessories for it, but I just don't have them out. I've got them in bags. But it came fully accessorized. And that's the headquarters. So yeah. And some of from the hundreds and hundreds, I only have a few. This is a go-kart. Oh, excuse me just for a sec. That'll be someone important. Yes, hello, caller. Oh, you noticed I've lost more weight. Oh, how sweet of you. Thank you for noticing. I've lost 16 kilos. Oh, well, thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. Oh, how sweet. And anyway, this beautiful river craft playset. He's just an added diver, but what happens? Oh yeah, that pops up. And it again came with a whole heap of accessories, and it floats, and you can also play with it on the ground, which is a good thing. This cool, what's that? Audience, what's this called? It's a motorized skateboard thing, but and it actually turns as well. But anyway, there's the kayak, there's the snow thing. it goes on and on and on. So this is what I have. I've also got, oh God. I'm not going to individually show you everything, all the weapons and the accessories and the everything that came with it, like too much. Bags of stuff. So it was really good set, and Logan loves it, so I'll keep collecting it for him until he's old enough to be embarrassed by it, as they are. So I think we've gone long enough. That's my G.I. Joe and 90s Action Man. Thank you very much. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'm coming up very soon with something incredibly cool and different and interesting. See you next time. Good night.
Yeah.
Remember to like, share, and Oh, hello. Have you come to help me pack up? Finally, I was looking for you earlier. What have you found? What have you found? Come over here. Hello. Whoa. Look. Oh. You gonna do anything interesting? No? Is that just it? Say hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. Okay.